So today we're talking about one of the major hurdles in therapy, the patient going through the grieving process. A little spoiler alert, I'm going to tell it to you straight. If we as therapists do not acknowledge the patient stuck in the grieving process, no matter how well we apply the physical therapy, the patient care is going to be subpar. We as therapists often come in contact with patients experiencing loss of some form, whether it be from a loss of a limb or a loved one, maybe from an accident, or it can be something even like loss of range of motion or a regular lifestyle that they are accustomed to. These emotional struggles are hurdles to proper application of physical therapy care. Now, what the patient is going through is perfectly normal, but how we handle the patient during the journey of grieving will determine the therapy outcomes. Take, for instance, this scenario. Jane is a new PT that has been assigned to help Matt learn how to walk on his new prosthetic. During the session, she finds him detached and semi-resistant to her help. He appears to not want to participate. Jane explains in her most excited voice that as soon as he learns how to walk again, he'll be out of his wheelchair and will be up and about with his new life. Matt blows up at her and verbally runs her out of the room. Have we in therapy become so calloused? Oftentimes, yes. We see these patients so often it becomes a part of life to us. Even though we may have had 3 patients this past year just like Matt and know the positive outcomes that he could be facing, what he is going through is very real to him, no matter what anyone else is having to deal with. So what is grief? Kubler and Ross founded the ideas back in 1969. They came up with basically a 5-stage process that covered denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. An example of that would be a patient thinking that this cannot be happening to me, or I can't believe this is actually happening to me. Bargaining in a way such as, God, if this isn't happening to me, I promise to do better things with my life. Slipping into depression, as in, since this is happening to me, I might as well just give up on life. And hopefully coming to the point of acceptance that this is now a part of my life and I've got to make do with it. Patients can be at any stage of these 5 portions at any time. They don't have to go through them all, or they may even be going through a couple of them at the same time. The important thing for us as therapists is to find them where they are at and try to give them coping strategies that'll help bring them out. Many of the coping strategies that can be used are meditation, humor, spirituality, or maybe even pets and friends. Plus, never discount the benefit of physical therapy to take their minds off of the situation either. So how can we as therapists help? Therapy can treat a number of things, but we cannot pull someone out of themselves emotionally. The best we can hope to do is find them where they're at and start to guide them to a more positive outcome. These are skills that can be learned, so rest easy. When you have the proper understanding of the grieving, it'll give you the tools to meet the patient where they're at and start giving them that little glimmer of hope. We can't force our way inside of somebody. We have to be let in, and by doing that means we have to build a rapport with the patient. We have to show that we do care and that we can be somebody that they can trust. South University pointed out 3 key points that are crucial for helping out a patient, and that's communicating often and well, expressing empathy, and projecting calmness in this chaotic time of their life. So now let's take a look at another scenario applying these better skills used to help with grief. Jane is now working with Matt to begin ambulation training with his new prosthetic. He appears detached and she realizes he may be going through some degree of loss from his amputation. She opens up conversation, asking how his surgery came about to get him talking, and to use it to try to find an opening to build some rapport. Over the course of the next couple sessions, Matt opens up more and Jane is able to give him information that helps him to begin to work through his personal loss and overcome the grief he is feeling. Gary Karp made a great statement on guiding patients through the grieving process. That if you can just get them to hold on to a sliver of hope that what they are going through now is part of how they are healing and recovering and finding the way to whatever is in front of them that they just can't see right now. An important statement to think about when you're looking for things to watch out for. Remember that this time is about the patient. No matter what the knowledge is that we have of the outcomes that Matt is looking at, we have to remember that they are going through a journey and we are only here to help them along the way. Often when somebody's going through this kind of grieving, it can trigger things within our own lives, but we have to remember to keep that stuff on the side and only focus on the patient. If we can help get them through this difficult time, the therapy outcomes will be much more favorable. And by consistently applying these skills and helping people during bereavement, we will become better therapists and provide better patient outcomes. Thank you for your time, and please always remember it is about patient care. Making people better. That's why we got into this.